back then. Positivity was the message we sent.
99.9 WEFM.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And it's Thursday morning and after 8, and you know what that means? It is time for our Cop Chat for today. And we will be speaking, or we'll be talking on the topic of Ready and Responding, the Special Service Unit. And in studio, we have Inspector of Police, Mr. Maxian Richardson, as well as Sergeant of Police, Mally Lewis. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the studios of WEFM.
Pleasant good morning to the listening public.
And how are y'all doing?
Good for the time.
Y'all look so serious. What's going on? What's going on?
Police always come inside here.
Why y'all so serious?
Well, police is a serious business.
Well, I agree. All right, so we could introduce yourselves individually. You could probably let us know how long you've been in the force, a police officer, and maybe with the Special Service Unit.
Okay, good morning again. Maxian Richardson, Inspector of Police. I've been in the police force for over 30 years, and I should say 29 of the years in the Special Services Unit.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. My name is Mally Lewis. I've been in the police force this year with me 26 years. I've been in the Special Service Unit for the past this year will be 16 years since I'm a part of the Special Service Unit, after spending like 13 years with the Rapid Response Unit.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So good morning again. So we're here talking about Special Service Unit. What's this about? What's this unit all about?
Okay, I said the Special Service Unit was a unit that was formed to deal with threats in relation to national security. Then we do security, and we do security for like key points installation. For instance, we have the financial complex and top governmental buildings. And we also do support. In terms of support, we support in other agencies in the police force, and also we have some of the governmental agencies that we also provide support in terms of doing the duties.
Okay.
Government as well as private entities, we provide security services for these.
Private entities, explain the private entities. Who does it extend to?
We normally provide security for the national lotteries, where we do on the day-to-day basis, where we secure their monies.
Okay. And could other private citizens, especially with businesses, ask for your assistance?
They can, but there's a system we normally go through. And if they agree, well, then we do assist.
Okay.
From time to time.
Okay. All right. All right. So what separates you from other units in particular? Let's say from RRU, because I think many of us might kind of think you do the same thing in a sense. So what separates you?
On the point, as our mandate is that we deal with insurgencies and things that may arise that because a disruption in the normal running of the country, right? And then the RU along with us, also responds to incidents, emergencies, and stuff like that. So as we say, we work hand in hand in relation to performing the duties, because the main thing about it is to get it done, and we get it in a way that is controllable.
Okay.
So we work hand in hand in performing certain duties.
Do you also do patrols though?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the patrols.
Okay. So in two instances, rapid response does patrols as well as the SSU.
Yes. Both units have similar mandates, but not the same mandates. If you can understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In terms of, so people tend to think of you as being serious. Why do you think this is a misconception that people have?
I think generally it's a misconception because police work is not a joke work where you will go about your business smiling and doing your duty. So sometimes, I mean, you might probably have your face a certain way and people tend to think, oh no, this police officer puffed up or whatnot. But that's not the case. Our duty is just to make sure we have a safe and better St. Vincent for all of us.
Okay.
And so in all that, you have to put some sort of seriousness into it.
And in relation to that also, we go on a duty and we also look at the threat level. The threat level that we're going to face, because it's not all situation where you requires certain action to be taken. So in terms of that now, you go in preparation as we put it, you go to say that the worst might turn out of a simple situation. So we go as we said, first impression comes. So we hit the ground, then we know that we come to do a job and we live focus on doing it.
Okay.
And the RRU do, not the RRU, the SSU do security for private function.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I want to ask, why is it important for you to be stationed at government buildings? So because we know that we go into a government building and we always see an officer stationed there. Why?
Okay, well, most of these government agencies collect monies. So, I mean, for that purpose, we'll provide security, and at the end of the shift, we'll normally assist in depositing the money.
And if you remember, I said earlier that we call these key points. So key points, how we call this key points, as in terms of that we know deliver security that is supposed to be provided here. So that's
okay. All right. What else would you want to let us know in terms of the SSU and the functions of the SSU?
Okay, the Special Services Unit is a specialized unit within the Royal St. Vincent Guardians Police Force. We respond to situations that require a higher level of training. We also, especially where public order and public safety are concerned, we focus a lot on those security risks.
Okay. And all right, so forgive me there. So when people hear of public order and they think of shutdown whenever SSU officer arrives, what does this mean? Why should you turn up to an event? Why should you be present at an event?
Well, for instance, rats. Those are very important stuff to deal with when you have to go and quell the situation. Also fighting. SSU normally will call into this, especially if you have an event. We're there to de-escalate the situation. We specialize in training for dealing with those situations.
Okay. And what would you like for the public to know when you do turn up?
okay. If I touch on that, let's look at if we might touch a point to say like for in terms of protest action, then permission has to be given for that action to be taken, right? And the permission that you're giving out, they have conditions that you have to abide in terms of doing that. Good? And then we are there now to make sure that you abide by what is stipulated to you in accordance to you getting the permission. And then you know how to make sure that these stipulations are being met. And then once that goes well, we are there just to make sure that. But if a city arise that we see that a breach in terms of your stipulation, then that's we get involved to make sure that we tell you, okay, then this is you're going outside of the confine of what you're supposed to do, and we try to manage that. In terms of doing so, we'll try to speak to the person that who is, as we go to put it, in charge of the, and we talk to them and say, okay, then this is what happened, and we see that you're going outside of things. So you know to get your personnel, also get them under control, and then we won't just step in to quell the situation just like that. We make sure that we tell you what you're doing wrong, and then ask you to deal with it as soon as, or then after that, then that's what we're gonna take steps.
And when you say you mean maybe like a promoter or the organizer?
Okay. Okay. Well, yes.
Okay.
It's just a matter of maintaining law and order.
Okay. But so when we see you, it's not necessarily the case that you're going to shut down whatever it is that's happening.
Well, it depends. It depends. It all depends. Because, for instance, if we have an activities wherein someone is being killed, then there's a need to shut down that activity right away. Yeah.
Okay.
Without you, okay, if you set for time and you have it for that, then deal with.
So y'all do the strict adherence to time, by the way?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Time. Once we deal with time, we come and tell the time. And then, in some instances, a promoter will come and say to you, okay, then I might need an extra hour, but he can't come and tell us on the point. We have to be notified that before. And then it's on us now, so okay, then we will grant it. But if there are circumstances, for instance, we have seen a lot of disturbances going on, then it is on us now to say whether our initiative to say whether we grant it to you. Once you reach your time that you set for, we close down. Yes, but it also is that in your stipulation that anything happen during the time frame that you have, that will cause a disturbance. For example, just mentioned about someone getting injured somewhere, then it's not also we shut it down right now.
Okay. Curious question though, when it comes to public gatherings and the use of curse words, what happens there? If let's say a DJ is on a stage and they play a song with a curse word, or they encourage the crowd to use curse word, what do you tend to do there?
Well, basically what happened whenever you apply for to have an event, there's a permission letter you will get from the commissioner, and the rules, right, is there, and the permission letter to say what you should do or what you should not do. We should more than likely, on most occasion, we'll go talk to the promoter and say, okay, listen, not supposed to be using profanity on the stage, and if you continue, if you desist, we will shut it down.
Okay. So you don't just go and shut it down when you hear it, maybe?
No. Police don't operate like that. Police supposed to have a conversation first and then you operate. That's how we work. We don't just go and just use a sledgehammer to pull a nail.
All right. So when it gets shut down, it's because you already talked to the promoter.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Just to clear you on that. Okay. All right. Now, when it comes to SSU officers, what are some of the common behaviors that you see from crowds and bystanders? What do you see, like when you turn up? Are persons kind of happy to see you come in, or they just feel like you're coming to, or what advice would you give to persons in the crowd?
Okay, the main concept that personnel gather once they see uniform is that, yes, there's something happen or something, we come to do something. But all the time, it does not necessarily be that way. Time it come, we show our presence, okay, as we say, just to make sure that everything running in order and the stipulation as it is being adhered to. It doesn't mean that we're there just to as a show of force. And eventually, and actually, if there's an incident, then obviously everybody knows that the police is going to turn up. Good? They might not instantly be the SSU, whatever police is going to turn up in situations like that. So the thing that we see with that, when it comes to that now, everybody, the public should be aware that, and be conscious that, okay, yes, something happened. That is why we're there.
Yeah.
Because we'll not go and you have it and just come like that and just close up. So the situation has to rise for us to come and deal with it.
Yeah. So our main goal is preventative measures and de-escalating the situation.
Okay.
And in the same preventative is that we just train up, we just patrolling, just to represent. That is a term now as preventative, another errand to for offenses to be committed.
Okay. And when we see you, allow you to do your jobs.
Correct.
What are some of the other things that people tend to do to be a bit more disruptive and you executing your jobs properly?
Well, you have situation wherein, our public organization, and we like to be loquacious when police doing the job. We tend to like officers do this, do that, this sort of situation. And as professionals, you tell them, okay, listen, you're not supposed to be there just back. For instance, if you're taking pictures, which you do have an issue, because obviously as a police officer, if you're doing your work correctly, people are videoing, it's not an issue. But when you're encroaching on what we are doing, then it becomes an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact remain also. But I notice that is happening in the public. From time the police, everybody their phone and they start to as if they expect the police is gonna come and do something. Right? But it's just the fact that once nothing happened, there's no need for us to come and act out of our country.
Okay. All right. And in terms of your communication, let's say in high noise, high stress environments, what instructions do you tend to give to persons? Like, let's say you arrive at a particular scene, a crowd has already formed. How do you communicate, let's say, with each other and also with the crowd?
In our system, we have we call it non-verbal communication, where we use signs. Good. If I give you a sign, then you should know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm chaining.
You know what I mean, just by that. But in terms of the crowd, as it depends situation, we go prepared for it. So we have, okay, for instance, if we are in town, like say a protest, then then we use what we call a loud hailer, so that your voice can be projected, so that they can hear you. But on other instances now where we at Victoria Park, where the music is playing, we try to get through the means of the person who's an announcer and say what there's a problem in terms of doing that. But then he's gonna require us to be shouting above the amidst of the crowd. But we try our best.
Yeah, so we give clear, direct instructions, so that people can understand. I mean, especially when Vincent we use dialect. If possible, we use dialect so people can understand, because not everyone will understand.
And when does force come into play, the use of force?
We use of force depends on the threat level. Good. Once we go the situation, we assess the situation. Once we go, we assess the situation, and then we think about the scene safety. Because we think about ourselves. Right? It's safe for us, and our action go in accordance to the level, to the reaction. We go at it's peaceful, we get peaceful, then it's done. So our level rises according to the check.
Correct.
Okay.
In terms of our use of force.
Okay. And something I had and just went straight on.
Let me just ask a question. There's all this talk about warrant and police entering person's property. How does this warranting work?
Well, how it works? Well, for instance, the police investigating a theft of let's say a cell phone or what's not. In those circumstances, the police will get a warrant to execute at the place where when they obtain by a GP or magistrate obtain the warrant, and then you execute warrant. Where firearms are concerned, the police do not need a search warrant for firearm on the Firearm Act.
So can the police enter the property without a warrant?
Yes, they can.
People are sort of talking.
It have circumstances. For instance, if you're chasing someone who has a gun, and they run into your yard, you expect me to have a warrant to show that I'm coming into your yard? No. There are circumstances that require warrant, and so there are circumstances that do not or does not require warrant.
Okay.
And so going back to the question with the use of force. If I think that excessive use of force was used on me, right? As a citizen, is there a form or a way for me to seek redress?
Yes, we do have the police complaint department. I mean, where we'll go and lodge a complaint, and they will do an investigation, and based on the investigation, you'll get your justice.
Okay.
And if I don't get me justice,
That's what,
Well,
if I don't think I got it, yeah.
well, I mean, there are always the other means a way to seek legal redress. You know, what I mean,
Okay.
a lot of lawyers in Simmons.
But that's how the police point out now. If you lodge a complaint, an investigation.
All right. So to ask you both, well, it would come down to being a bit of a personal question in a sense. Given your years being in the SSU, how do you separate your emotions to maintain your professionalism? Right? Because Vince is small. Everybody knows everybody. In some instances, you would have come into contact with individuals before in other matters, etc. How do you maintain your professionalism and keep, in some instances, your emotions at bay? Especially if somebody not listening to you, you know? They refuse to listen to you when you're trying to execute whatever order or whatever instructions you're giving them.
Okay. We are trained to act professionally at all times, to perform our duties fairly, I should say, impartially, regardless of personal relationship with people.
Okay. What kind of training y'all go through? Okay, you answer and then you say what kind of training you go through.
No problem.
Okay. We train local, regional, and international. Okay. So locally, we provide a training for personnel that provide under our command. Now we give them that. Regional, we join with other forces. There's the RSS, there's the regional security system. There's a group of 8 countries. So we have joint training with them also, because it's like a memorandum formed between us that if something happens, as we say, national security, in terms of national security, then we can go to their country and they also can come to our country in order for us to play that. But then we have overseas training internationally, where we deal with a matter of we call it a higher level of training, where we involve in like logistics, incident commands, and infantry on a whole.
Okay. But do you always find it easy to separate your emotions though, especially when it's a situation, when you have to go into dealing with a crowd and there's another crowd looking at it and kind of egging on or encouraging persons to continue with maybe disruptive behavior? How do you
we're
deal with it?
professional. I mean, after over a period of years, it becomes very easy. And I mean, as opposed to a young officer who, the young officer is different than us, because I mean, experience, because of certain experience you would have gone through. What will happen? We tend to deal with situation. It becomes like chalk and cheese.
And it depends on us in terms of separation. Okay, we deploy forces, okay then. I deploy a segment, take this crowd away, take this person, deal with a person, and then we deal with a person and clear the situation in terms of having them back and forth. So we try in terms of separation, get them separated, and then we deal with them separated.
Okay. All right. So what we would do, we would take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back with more. All right. And then callers, we would invite you to call us with your questions and maybe comments as well. All right. So we are going to take a very quick break.
Are you tired of being tired, fighting the battle of the bulge? Take a breath of fresh air and embrace a new lease on life. Oxygen Fitness Center is here, located in the Camden Park Industrial Estate in the Green Building, next door to the government printery. Our range of fitness equipment and programs were carefully selected to meet your needs. Take a leap of faith today. Oxygen Fitness Center has the answers to your fitness needs. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram or call us at 457-8333.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't make it any easier. When dealing with the loss of a loved one, You may try to be strong, but it's really hard sometimes. But that's just when the experience of the staff at New Haven Funeral Home can demonstrate their compassion and help to guide your family through the difficult time. So in your time of loss, call the New Haven Funeral Home at 457-1830 or 458-1467 or email newhavenfuneralhome@gmail.com. New Haven Funeral Home, SVG's preferred funeral home.
Ready, set, surf. Singer, your favorite family store is now online. Log on today at www.singersvg.com and enjoy our store and products right at your fingertips. Now online are your trusted brands that you have come to love. Refrigerators to chest freezers, gas cookers to toasters, air fryers, mattresses, living room sets, and so much more. Browse our products, check the specs, compare brands and prices, and request parts all online. We have also made bill payments easier, more convenient, and simpler just for you. Log on to www.singersvg.com to learn more. Singer, your family company is keeping up with you and the times. Visit our website today and experience a whole new world of Singer, your trusted online family company. At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 456-1501 or visit us in Heritage Square so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
99.9 WEFM.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And we are back with you, and we are in our Cop Chat section for today. And at this time, we are speaking to Inspector Maxion Richardson and Sergeant Marley Lewis, and we are talking on the topic of Ready and Responding, the Special Service Unit. All right, so.
All right, our question, what should a law-abiding citizen expect if they are stopped in the vicinity of an operation, even if they are not involved in any wrongdoing?
Okay, let me take
All right,
this.
let's hold that. We have a caller, so you can answer
Take this
after.
call.
All right.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good
Queens?
morning.
Yeah, hello?
Morning.
Yes. Sounds like the same program that you had last week, similar.
Similar,
The
yes.
questions and so on.
Yes.
Do the officers, especially the one with 30 years experience, you ever heard about the word Baghdad?
Yes.
Okay, where is Baghdad?
Baghdad, it's
That's over Otley Hall.
It's where?
Over Otley Hall.
Otley Hall.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked about Baghdad, back in the late 90s, I was reading a copy of the newspaper on a New York City train, and a Jamaican person sitting next to me glimpsed at the, might have been the back page. And they smiled and they asked me, what was that all about, Baghdad? Because the article says, Rastas taken to Baghdad. And the story was about some Rastas was in the area, they had some bags on them. The SSU got suspicious and took them to Baghdad, which was, I think, at the E.T. Joshua Airport, and searched them, and they didn't find nothing. So that's why I mentioned the question, Baghdad. That's all I got to say. Bye.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes. And also, I think there's a misinformation here. That's Baghdad. The narcotics base is usually called Baghdad as well. So I don't know if it's a mix-up. But
Well, I get you.
yeah.
That's why they searched.
Yeah. So but also it's been called Baghdad as well. So I just some have to just clear that up.
We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, you know, the police officers, sometimes when I see them, I just really sorry for them, especially the young ones.
Okay.
You know, the public have a poor perception of police right now. Now, one thing first, I'm glad they did some improvement to the entrance. I don't understand. Next time you drive down, I know you don't walk, look at the door. The door is well painted and the entrance of the place looking light. And the doors are open. Yeah, the doors are well painted. Number two, what I like to see the police then do when they're going to dispel a crowd or whatever, going about the line of duty, and the crowd interfere with them, you know, provide them to doing what they're supposed to do. They must lock up the person who's doing the disturbance. What Vincent should need is an example. If you never set an example of something as Vincent, you would not be effective. In the line of duty, nobody's supposed to interfere or disturb them. And the person doing that, they must set an example. Lock up whoever they go to lock whatever, dispel, and also the person who's interfering. Yes.
Correct.
And number three, last week I listened to Copcap because it was not the SSU, was
RRU.
Was last because we call it the
Rapid response.
Rapid response. Okay, and I listened diligently because I want to know when it was formed and the purpose. And lo and behold, police officer must be truthful here, Mr. Samuel. The lady who was there, Sergeant Station or whatever, said it was formed in 2002 to help combat crime. And since that crime has been down on a decline, that lady said that. And it's, you know, it's the opposite. In 1 year we had 54 crime, homicides or whatever in 1 year. And if you do aggravate at all, you get nearly to 500. And she should not come and say that.
Okay, I think in the context of it, because I've heard it said before, not just by her, right? What has been, certain crimes have lowered, right? But in terms of homicides, those are what's up. So maybe she just needed to.
She didn't specify.
Right. So we helping each other here, right?
Yeah.
Certain crime.
And, you know.
Right.
Hearing it, I said, no, it's wrong.
Okay.
Yes. So the young police officers in the line of duty, when they get interference, lock up the person also. Let's set an example. Yeah, because many times, if you're in a van and they stop the van, if you hear the crowd in the van, leave the man alone. The police no, they're doing the duty. Leave them. Leave them alone. Let them do the duty. They're there to protect us. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
If I may add something to the question number 2. In circumstances, arrests are being made. But in situations, especially we have a rioter situation, arresting personnel on the point will cause it to get worse. So what we have surveillances that we carried out. And at the end of that now, we arrest perpetrators by the use of the camera footage and other surveillances.
What are some of the most complaints you guys receive on a daily basis?
Well, for me, domestic disputes are the most complaint, and other instances we normally assist other stations, and also we also assist the RRU as well. We basically work hand in hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the initial question you asked, Maka.
Right. So I was about to answer that one. So on most occasion, when we stop someone when an operation is happening, is for safety purpose. Because, for instance, they might be walking on to where we're walking. I would tell them, okay, excuse me, you're not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Just step back a bit or just walk that way. It's just for safety. That's for the purpose.
But what is exactly the process?
In our operations, we provide what we call we do what we call a cordon of the area we're operating. So this cordon now is for us to control persons coming out and going in. And if we're doing an operation in an area we call a cordon control point, and then we stop persons who are going in until for the duration of what we're doing. But I will explain to them as it comes out in now. We'll take a certain sort of time. It is not safe for you to go in due to what we are doing, and we does that because we tell you what we're there for and what we're doing.
So the same go to stop and search.
Yes. But stop and search. You identify. We tell you exactly what we're doing. Because we outline that here, so you to be aware of what we're doing. Anything to declare, and we go along the line.
And we also must let the public know that cooperation on both ends will normally allow things to go very smoothly.
All right, let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, President. Good morning to all.
Morning, go right ahead.
Yes, I was just listening to the cop chat, and something that has came to my mind is that I've been paying attention that most recently there's been a lot of videos like with police officers in altercation with the public. So my question for the 2 brilliant officers before you is that what is the reason that you think that there's so much drama and fury between the public and the police?
Okay, let me answer this question. I think sometimes it's lack of experience. I know our force have a lot of young officers, and it from changing over from a civilian life to police life, that takes some time. So sometimes these youngsters tends to have a bit of the civilian life in them, and tends to get themselves in trouble with people. I mean, if people videoing and what's not, there's no need for you to get yourself involved in anything with them. Allow people to do what they want to do. Once you're not doing anything outside the confront the law, you're good. There's no need. I think officers should, this is from doing these things, because at the end of the day, you're the one who will be looking bad, and also the police force.
Okay, not sure, but in my view, I think that is where training comes in. Training beyond the police training school, because, I guess by now both officers recognize the voice of who is calling.
Yes, my son.
Yeah, so I think that is where training comes in, because there's so many ways in which you can diffuse a situation without getting into a heated altercation with the public. If time is on my side, I hope sometime in the near future I could come and share certain things that I've learned in terms of dealing with the public as a former officer of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. But you're correct. Sometimes police officers tend to get heated, especially when they see someone is videotaping. But it boils back to you. Once you walk within the scope of your duty, you shouldn't have a problem with who is videotaping or whatsoever. But like I say, I think that's where training comes in.
Yeah, man, in the near future, I'll be looking forward to see you come and give our young officers some training. I mean, that discipline very much needed in our system today.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right. Thanks, caller.
All right.
All right. I actually had a question down to ask. Given the years of service that both of you've had, what have you seen as being some of the changes in how the public views you as officers or the role of police? Because you've done 30 years, right? So you would have observed certain things. Before police turn up, all man jack frightened, right? Do you tend to still see the same thing happening now?
I say that no, is what is happening now is that as we see it, it's like everybody in the base that police is not to be feared anymore. As the caller stressed before, altercations now is being prevalent between the police officers and personnel. It's not basically the police point of view. But as in my tenure, we know once we turn up on the scene, situation tend to be quelled. But now I see that we turn up on the scene and it's getting more heated in terms of what we go there to do. And then people now tends to belch everything at us in terms of that what we're doing there and want to insist that we get out and whatever. So it is more prevalent now in terms of law and order. What used to be is not anymore. And based on it now is the young generation. The young generation that we're facing now that is causing the hiccups. Because you look at the majority of crimes that is being committed is personnel under the age of 25, the lower. And in my tenure, when you go, is mature personnel. Because look at personnel who are jail in the prison. It's young people.
Yeah.
And then you will not find mature people behaving in this manner. Mature people know that there are instructions and they abide by it. But in the younger generation is what we have our hands full right about now.
How do the SSC deal in like crime, killing and so forth? How the process go?
Well, we don't investigate crimes and those things. It's a process whereby, we're like first responders. So when there's a crime scene, we'll be called out, cordon off the area, preserve the scene until the investigators come and they will do what they have to do. And after, when they finish, our duty is practically finished. But back to the question you asked a while ago with regards to crime before. I hope I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings by saying this, but one of the major issues is poor parenting. Back then to now is different. And what is happening now, most of these youngsters out of hand because of poor parenting. And that is exactly what's happening. Because our parents were very strict back then. I grew up with my granny and very strict. Now, you someone being let us straight. It's so sad. Sad.
Okay. All right. So we have another question coming here. So what are the SSU rules of engagement or position on the use of force when responding to incidents where firearms are reported to be involved? Example, in a robbery or a burglary or even a house search.
Or tax interviews of force. Okay, when a robbery is committed, we are not on the scene. We are not on the scene to say it happened. So basically what we do is that we the perpetrator and we go in search of the perpetrator. Good? Good? Because we will not be there to witness it. Right?
Just the general rules of engagement or position on the use of force when responding to incidents.
So as the use of force, we have a use of a policy in terms of how we use our firearms. Our firearm, once we have to be engaged in using the firearm. Right? We have our rules of engagement. And as I said, on the point of when it happens, we're not involved, but where we have to look for the perpetrators, then we know that in terms of rules of engagement, what is stipulated, we stipulate it in accordance to the situation. As you be brief as the situation, so we know what we're going in there. We're gonna encounter fire. We give our rules of engagement in terms of encountering fire. Rules of engagement in terms of we just go there just to arrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And unless we go and now we expect fire, then we have a rules against in relation to responding to fire. And
yeah, everything is like a step by step. So you escalate this way, we escalate this way. It's just a step by step.
Okay.
So once my life is being threatened or my partner life is being threatened, that's where the use of engagement start and act.
Okay. All right. So regarding the public, what would you want to say to the public in a way to probably make the work of the force easier in a sense? I know Sergeant Lewis mentioned okay, that parenting is one aspect, but I know that there's a lot more. What else can the public do to make the work of the officers a little easier, and in making it easier, it's going to be of benefit to the rest of us as citizens?
Okay. First of all, follow lawful instructions, right? Avoid interfering with police operations, and thirdly, cooperate with the police. I'll say. That's my point. I don't know if I'm the inspector having the shit on it.
Well, that's all the cooperation from the public in whatever we out there to do. Good? And that is cooperation. And that is cooperation, then everything will work.
I mean,
as the stadium give you instructions, follow the instructions.
Yep.
All that by exactly the same.
And we are trained personnel, so please allow us to do our work.
Okay. And any final thoughts that you wish to leave with us as well, listeners, with the listeners?
I just say that, okay, the police, we come from the society also. We were not just made. We grew up in the society. We know what it means to come to be certain way in things in society. So don't take us as we just superhuman. We don't have feelings. Right? We have feelings, and the same feelings is meted out to everyone. So take it away that the police, they also feel the pain, they feel the same thing that you go through. But then at the end of the day, we have a job to perform. Because we're sworn to an oath, and our oath is one that protect life and property, maintain country peace, protect all the visitors. And once we sworn an oath, that is what we are married with. But then at the end of the day, we have our families, we share the same livelihood as you share. And as you say, once we cooperate, and don't think that the police is always there to, as you say, bull ready and to come and cause disturbance. The police is called out when there's an incident, and also as preventive measure, patrol, protecting the neighborhood, protect the citizens. So we're just here to do our job.
Yeah, correct. I endorse the inspector just said. Police officers are human. First of all, people must know that. And we're just there to do our job to make our citizens feel safe and a safer citizens on a whole. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. All right. So we also thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, we have come to the end of today's Cop Chat. And we were talking on the topic of ready and responding, the Special Service Unit. In studio, we have Inspector Maxian Richardson and Sergeant Marley Lewis. So we thank you for being here with us today, and we look forward to seeing you another time on another occasion. All right?
Sure. Looking forward to the day.
Looking forward.
Okay.